Let's talk about a journey from traditional martial arts to modern martial arts and the reasons why. So one of the first things that we want to discuss is the fundamentals, because fundamentals are pretty much the foundation of everything. Now, in traditional martial arts, let me borrow Johnny, have him come over here for a second. In traditional martial arts, they do introduce you to some very good core fundamentals. For example, they like to use forms that describe structures, very static positions. So let's say the first form position. So in this position, and put your fist out here. Now, in this position, he is getting introduced to the idea of balance. He is getting introduced to the idea of leverage. So he's taking the ground and sending it out. Now, all that is great, plus you got the idea of sending a little energy to a target. So balance, leverage, targeting. So these are great fundamentals. Now, the only problem with this is it becomes very static. And even the drills they give you, the picture they give you, doesn't really give you a way to develop the picture. For example, if Johnny were to step and hit traditionally, it's one step energy, which is great, except the opponent is not going to stand here like this and be hit. The opponent is going to move around and he's going to change dimensions, expand and contract. So we have to address those issues. So in our journey from traditional martial arts to becoming modern martial artists, we have to implement training methods that help us achieve that. Johnny, go ahead and hit your first form. Position out with the punch. This is your range. This is good. Again, it's teaching you your distance, which I think is fantastic. It introduces that idea. But again, if you step back and take a one-step punch in with traditional form, again, very good, properly done, has all the lessons that the traditional martial art gives you. But again, it's very, it's prefixed on it being right here, not the way you want to work. So step back a little bit. So now what we want to do is to take this functional idea and move it into a modern application where the opponent can move and slip. For example, now Johnny's got me in front of him. I'm going to use a modern training method for him to adapt. Hit. Move around a little bit. Move around. Boom. Move around. Hit. Some change knees. Hit. Boom. Hit. Boom. Go ahead. Boom. And stop. Go back and hit again. Now, fundamentally, he's still in exactly the same position. But what he learned how to do was to put some wheels under his feet. He learned how to have footwork. Now, a lot of things that are missing in traditional martial art is that the key application is they don't have great footwork. They only have one-step footwork, static positioning. In ABMVT, we took a look at that problem and we addressed it and we repaired it. So now everyone we train has great footwork, good distance control, and the ability to apply live power on a moving target. Moment of truth. It's going to be something I pop in every once in a while to the videos that we make where it's not about really highlighting our skill set, but something that we learned along the way that helped change the way we think. For example, if you're training with someone and they can't run mitts, get your guard up, Johnny, if they can't run mitts, if they can't feed you active lines, if they can't move and pop you and bring that reflex out of you, they're really not a coach. They're parroting maybe something they learned from somebody else, and often that leads to bringing other people's mistakes into the next generation. That is not what you want to have. What you want to have is the ability to take those fundamental ideas and bring them into the future. You want to modernize them. Now, another thing that I completely dislike, and I think that you should really think about when you're picking a teacher or training a system is, if your teacher is using you to get his ego off, let's say Johnny's my Sifu, and he's going to jut down, hit me hard, boom, and he's doing all this to me, and he's demoralizing me. He's teaching me to be a victim. That to me is not what a coach gets paid to do. We are here to build you up from the ground up. We're not here to turn you into battered housewives. We want to make you the best version of yourself. So if I'm sticking my finger in your eye, and if I'm kicking you on the ground, if I'm slamming you and I'm showing all the stuff off and turning you into a victim, I'm breaking down your confidence. If you're training with a guy like that, leave. You don't have to come train with us. Find someone that respects you as a student, that respects you as a client. Find someone that you trust to build you up. Peace.